Sportscast. I'm Sean Watson.
I'm Ryan Kessler.
And I'm Mark Wade.
Guys, how's it going? How's it going this week?
Oh, it's going good now.
Pretty good.
You know, hopefully no updates happen.
Try number 2 on tonight's pod.
We did have some good material there, but
Yeah.
hey, we'll try to make this fresh too. So we're going to start off with a little college football this week. Browns were on a bye this past week. So new college football playoff came out this Tuesday. Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU 1-4, with Tennessee and Oregon 5-6 rounding out. Did they get it right?
Yeah. And sorry, your kids got it right with the Halloween candy.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Oregon lose pretty bad?
Georgia. Week 1.
Week 1, yeah.
It's like 49-3.
Is there any shot for them to make the playoff?
If they win out.
Yeah, I think there's a shot.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think
Who's they gonna play in the Pac-12 title game?
whoever wins UCLA, USC each have one loss. So I think whoever wins that game will play.
They played last week.
But Oregon also plays Utah,
Right.
who only has one conference loss.
So Utah could sneak
still
in
get
there.
in. Yeah.
I think they're probably a better team.
So the Pac-12 is like I heard someone else say could all cannibalize each other and they could all end up with 2 losses. But
Then none of them would get in.
No.
Again.
Yeah.
So another number of college upsets this past weekend. Starting off with Clemson getting it pushed in over there in South Bend. I mean,
Yeah. All under the eye of touchdown Jesus.
yeah, I know, right? I mean, even touchdown Jesus had to put a blindfold on. That was such a fucking. So.
What was the final score of that game?
35-14, I think.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even really that close.
I mean,
Clemson scored both their touchdowns and game was already
Garbage
over.
time.
it was third quarter, right? No, nobody scored
It
the
was
third quarter.
28-0 in the third quarter at one point.
Yeah, well, Notre Dame scored 21 points in the fourth quarter to really, seal the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So DJ Kamana 27-39, 191 touchdown, 33 rating. How's that treating you?
Bad.
Yeah, really bad.
It's like Baker Mayfield.
Phew. Man, those are some Baker numbers. Baker's a lot better, a lot more proficient than
How many
college.
swatted passes?
I don't know.
How many pump fakes?
Probably not as many.
I mean, Notre Dame, they led 14-0 at the half. They started off with a special teams punt return for a touchdown, and also had an offense and defensive touchdown in the game. Dabo not happy.
No. Tough to win on the road.
Dabo ain't happy. God.
He'll be my crying Jordan.
Yeah.
You think he
Put that
ever?
out there.
Do you think he takes an NFL job next year?
No.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know who Clemson
I
is.
think he saw what happened with Saban and Urban. I don't think he'll ever. I could see him maybe going to Alabama though, like when Saban's gone, because that's where he went.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
played quarterback there, didn't he?
I know Clemson's elite now, but they're no Bama. If he had a chance to go,
Especially with the conference alignments, realignments that's happening.
But yeah, and honestly, because I thought about that too. Would he go coach in the NFL? I don't see guys in the NFL respecting him. I think he's a fucking clown.
Yeah.
But the
So
money.
But it seems like the people that played there like him. I mean,
He'll be another Urban coming in the
The
NFL.
thing is, though, an NFL head coach, you have more of a life than being in college. They're recruiting constantly.
yeah.
I don't know how Saban does it all these years.
Well, I think his assistants do a lot of it, a lot of the hard work, and then that he
does
comes in
the.
and, Here, look
Yeah,
at
they
all
do
my
the
rings.
footwork. Yeah.
Right.
I got enough for all my
rings and
fingers and my
things.
dick.
Saves all the hard work for the bullshit he throws out there at the podium every week in the press.
Who?
Saban.
Oh no, Saban's pretty good with the press.
Well, I mean,
he's pretty straight up.
Yeah, but I mean, he's pretty raw.
Yeah,
he
which
doesn't
I like
put up.
it.
He doesn't put up with
He's
shit.
very
Yeah.
Belichickian.
I like it.
Yes.
I like Saban.
Right.
I loved when he went after Maria Taylor a couple years ago when she was asking questions about it was Jalen Hurts and Tua, and she was asking him a question to try to get an answer, and he was like, "I'm not gonna answer, so quit asking."
I'm a man. I'm 40.
So anyway, Notre Dame back up in the top 25. Helps Ohio State's pedigree a little bit more.
Looks good for our resume.
Yep, absolutely. Say Coach Freeman, this is a really good win for him. especially after losing to Ohio State first game of the season.
And all the other losses.
Yeah, I wouldn't say
Well,
that.
and Marshall, that was definitely
I'd
a
say-
big blemish.
I'd say losing to Marshall and Stanford at home is a lot worse than losing on the road to Ohio State.
Right, but I'm saying this would be the only. I mean, this is
Oh,
another
this is
big
definitely
win for
his
the
like
year.
signature win.
Right. So, I mean, do they still play USC or have they played them yet?
Notre Dame, yeah, they still play USC
Right, still. So, I mean, that could be another big win for them.
and Navy,
Yeah.
which
And
triple options
National
never-
Guard.
Yeah,
National Guard this year.
they play the Coast Guard.
Yeah, Coast Guard. Yeah. Like Kevin Costner and Ashton Kutcher coming in, make some cameos. So, another big one, Alabama, roll cried, losing to LSU this year.
Good.
You like that?
Yeah.
I
Fuck
definitely
Alabama.
smile anytime Alabama loses.
Yeah.
Like we
Lost
said
on the
before.
2-point conversion. Brian Kelly with the balls
Yeah.
in the OT.
The big balls.
The big
but
balls.
Like we were talking earlier, I think that's an easy call.
Well, I think
I'd go for 2 in the
how
win
would Brian Kelly say it?
with some
Bowels.
fake accent.
Gotta get
Sound like
bowels.
Cartman. My bowels.
My
bowels.
So, nice little stat for you. Nick Saban 0-2 on the road, should be 0-3 against top 25 teams this year. Should have lost that Texas game also. Should Alabama definitely be out of the college football playoff? There is a small path they could still get in.
No, there's not.
I hope not.
No.
So-
They're done. Put a fork in them. They're done. They're cooked.
So, Brian Kelly solidified his coaching status in the SEC with this win.
Yeah, he finally beat Alabama. First time with like a. He couldn't do it when he was at Notre Dame, that's for sure.
Right.
But he never had like as good of a roster probably as he has now at LSU. A little bit of a talent gap.
A little bit.
Little
bit.
Little scooge.
Right. So moving on, OSU not in the greatest looking game against Northwestern. Northwestern with 1 win. It was overseas this year.
Well, I mean, I seen the thing about when Ohio State, when Krenzel hit that big bomb against Purdue that year, they ended up winning a national title. Like,
I can't imagine some of the Ohio State fans that criticize like Ryan Day and winning by 30 this year and it's still like not good enough. What were they doing in 2002 when we were winning every game by 4 points?
Right.
right.
I can't we beat Illinois who had a losing record. It took 2 overtimes. Like Michigan was bad that year. We barely beat them. Like you said, the Purdue thing wasn't that today like the
Jacobs,
20
right?
year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy Buckeye.
Like
Yeah. I remember.
barely
that. I
beat
remember
Cincinnati that year.
Yeah, the Cincinnati game.
So
Damn.
Well, and there was.
and yeah, like it wasn't a pretty win, but I guarantee Clemson and Alabama would have rather had a pretty win than a loss.
For an ugly
Like,
win.
Yeah.
Rather than a loss
Yeah.
this weekend. Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, there's definitely things they need to improve on, but they still won the game, so.
So Stroud was 10 of 26. No touchdowns, 59 rating. He actually had more rushing yards than
Yeah.
he did passing yards.
That'll probably never happen again.
No, I'm sure it
If
won't.
it does, then we're in trouble. Because that means we're going to get our ass whooped.
Right.
I mean, do you think OSU got exposed in this game?
No, I mean,
I just.
How they bouncing back?
I don't like I still don't like their offensive.
I don't like them trying to force the run. I mean, I get it. Last week they probably had to force the run. They couldn't throw, but if you're an elite passing offense, then just do that. You don't have to have. You're not going to get an extra trophy for being balanced.
Right.
Like I feel
True,
like a lot of
true.
teams have to run to set up the pass. We can run or we can throw to set up the run.
Or pass. You're right.
Because
So
then
it's
teams
like
are going
West
to have to
Coast
put
offense.
eight people out
Really?
in coverage against our receivers, and then you're going to have
That's
explosive
the old Bill
running
Walsh
plays.
kind of offense from back in the day.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's what Cleveland does.
yeah.
I mean, you could come out throwing the ball early and keep them on their heels.
Right.
Yeah.
So, no Tre'Davion Henderson this week. Mayan Williams, 26 for 111 yards. Then on Northwestern side of the ball, I think Fitzgerald was very wise how he did when he was working the wind and how he was
Yeah.
running the play clock.
Suck that clock.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, that was the only way that game was going to be close. Like when we
Yes.
did the spread last week, we didn't know it was going to be a fucking
No, we didn't. And that's
shit
why I'm
show.
not a professional bettor.
right.
But I'm gonna keep throwing shit out there at people.
It was funny too because they showed the crowd because I guess at one point in the second quarter the weather got like awful, like the wind was bad the whole game, but I guess the rain got really heavy in the second quarter.
They're
And,
calling
like,
for possible thunderstorms.
the crowd was like going nuts. They were like so happy because they knew like the worse the weather got, the more it was going
Right.
to balance things out. But they said like just outside the stadium there were like wind gusts of up to 80 miles an hour on
Yeah,
Saturday.
you can't throw than that.
No.
No.
Like you said, you can't even throw with the wind at your back in that.
No.
Because you're going to overthrow everything.
Well, and C.J. Stroud did it a couple times.
Oh,
He
yeah.
overthrew his receivers.
Yeah, and then when he didn't, they weren't catching it because everyone I saw was still wearing gloves, and they were even making a point of that on the broadcast. Like, take the gloves off when it's raining like that. You're
Right.
not gonna catch it. But of course, Marvin Harrison was catching everything.
He always
He didn't
does.
drop one. I mean, Emeka,
Right.
Cade, and Julian Fleming each had a couple drops, which, I mean, that's probably pretty normal in a game like that. But Marvin Harrison, like, that dude, like, did you guys realize that during the Penn State game, those 10 catches he had were all for first downs?
Wow.
Yeah. Their fans were not happy. I mean, there was a guy behind me that was just going off saying, this is what happens when you have an NFL quarterback and NFL receivers. Like, their fans were not happy.
I mean, when Marvin Harrison goes in the draft, I would think he's going to be higher than Wilson or Olave.
He might be a one. Yeah, he might be a.
He's not going to be a number.
overall.
Oh, I don't think a receiver's ever going to pick number one overall. But he's going to
Definitely
be in
be
the
a
top,
top 10,
top
yeah.
10 for sure. I
I
think.
mean, his
What, is he a
size. And,
sophomore?
So he'll be there next year. And if Kyle McCord wins the starting job next year, that was his like high school quarterback. So like they already have.
Well, who do we have coming up besides McCord?
Devin Brown, who was like a top recruit out of Utah, and then
Okay.
coming in 2025 as the number one quarterback in that class, who's like fully committed to Ohio State. But,
Okay.
As a freshman, he's a number one recruit.
Mhm.
Jesus. Wow.
Yeah. So I think it's Dylan Raiola. His dad played in the NFL. I think he's from California. I think.
Okay.
Well, you know,
Sunshine.
Ohio State
Jack.
keeps going into California and taking their quarterbacks.
Right.
So
So a little college football graphic I wanted to bring up here. We'll put it up for you. Georgia with the highest percentage to make the college football playoff. Ohio State 2 and Michigan 3. So by the looks of things, at least the stat guys, can OSU and Michigan still make the playoffs regardless of their game together?
looks like it. There's a chance.
They're saying that game doesn't matter as much.
No, it matters.
No, I mean it doesn't matter as far as the football playoff. I guess
Oh.
what those stats are telling me.
Well, did you see, if it's the same thing I saw, Tennessee has a better chance of making the playoff after losing. They have higher odds to get into the playoff now than before they lost to Georgia because of the outcomes of the other games.
Right.
Going into that game, they had a 62% chance if they won out, and now it's like 66.
Wow.
So that definitely, I mean, I feel like that definitely shows right there that two SEC teams are getting in.
Yeah. Well,
It's just which two?
Yeah.
Is it going to be Georgia, Tennessee, Georgia, LSU?
I think it would be great.
I
You have two SEC, two Big Ten
That'd be
teams.
pretty cool. I mean,
I just don't know though. I mean, if Georgia runs the table, they beat LSU in the SEC championship.
If Tennessee only has
then
one
Tennessee
loss, though.
probably will be that fourth
Yeah.
team.
You think?
Or third, and then the loser.
I mean, let's say TCU loses this weekend.
they're done. They have
Okay.
to. They have to.
They're done. But still, if that
But the
Pac-12
Pac-12
guy could come in there.
Yeah, I think if the Pac-12 champion is a one-loss team, they're getting in.
Right. Right.
But
So,
three weeks of the regular season left, and then the conference championship. So it's gonna be a fun last 4 weeks. A lot of shit could happen.
there's some big games for this weekend. Of course, we just said TCU are 7-point dogs against Texas.
I'm taking Texas at home.
Yeah. I kind of agree with that. I think
That's for their
TCU's going to
season
get
right there
TCU's going to get exposed.
to kind of save their season.
Right.
I guess TCU too has won like 3 games, which obviously you still got to win all your games. Doesn't matter who you play, but
Right.
like they've had to go up against like 3 backups, and some of the games they've won.
Right.
So,
I mean, Ewer's going to come in there, make sure he parks his car in the right place, not get distracted.
I guess car towed.
LSU, only 3-point favorites over the Razorbacks this week.
Yeah, that seemed kind of weird.
They got the weird
Arkansas just lost against Liberty with their 4th string quarterback.
Right.
So I don't understand how LSU isn't favored by.
I mean, unless Vegas is thinking.
I don't think Arkansas is like
it's going to be a letdown game for
playing
LSU.
at Death Valley. It could be. We'll find out how good of a coach Brian Kelly is.
I guess.
Like, are you going to have your team ready to go, or are you going to have a letdown?
And then Oregon's 13.5-point favorites against Washington this week.
Where's that game at? Do you know?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
I'll look it up. I feel like that has to be out of Oregon because Washington's ranked.
Right.
So I don't think they'd be that favored against a ranked team.
Those are a lot of points, I think. But I mean, it is college football, but still.
And yeah, Bama's at Ole Miss this week too.
Okay, so next
Yeah,
game
Washington's at Oregon.
at
So
Oregon.
I can see that.
Okay. All right. Then of course Ohio State back home this week against Indiana. 40-point favorites. Over unders 58. I think I'd have to take Indiana plus the 40. And I'd probably go under 58. I don't know. I think this could be kind of an Iowa game here again. I think you could see us. I don't know if Indiana's going to put enough points on the board, and I think McCord's going to come in early if we get up really high. So could be not much scoring late in the game. What do you think?
Yeah, and I could actually see it going over.
You think it's going to be over?
Yeah, but Ohio State, I think Indiana will cover, and it goes over.
So you tell our audience to take the plus 40 and the over? Mm-hmm. Okay, I like it. Of course, you can go ahead and grab the link over for mybookie.ag over on our YouTube channel on the description of this pod. Anything else in college football landscape you guys want to cover?
Oh, gotta keep winning.
Let's keep winning.
Yep. Just win. Like it.
Just win.
Al Davis, Mark Davis, whatever.
Right.
Whichever one has the fucked up haircut.
Yeah. One looks like Lloyd for Dumb and Dumber.
That's the only person I think of when I see that guy.
Right.
I mean, if I had that much money, I'd probably look like an asshole too.
All right, so we're going to move on to the NFL. Of course, like I said, the Browns want to bye this week. We'll cover the division games, though. So, Bengals 42, Panthers 21.
Wow. Unreal performance by the Bengals.
Yeah, Joe Mixon, 5 touchdowns.
Beating one of the worst teams in the fucking league at home. Such an impressive win.
With an XFL quarterback.
Right. And Burrow didn't have to do much. Mixon scored 5 touchdowns, 4 in the second quarter alone. I think he's only the 8th running back ever to score 5 touchdowns in the post-Super Bowl era.
Wow.
What I saw, there was 2 other backs to do that. One was Kamara in like 2020, and the other
he
one
had like 6 in that game.
Jamal Charles. Both had 6. Yeah. And
well, I mean, LT had a couple, and Priest Holmes and Sean Alexander that one
right.
game.
But I'm saying 6 though.
Oh, 6.
6 in a game. So Mixon had 5. So Mixon 22 for 153 yards, 7-yard average. Also 4 for 58 on the receiving end, which we did really well, squashing that with Mixon. Game's wasn't even really close. Scoreboard, as the scoreboard
It's 35-0 at half.
Yeah, I mean the Panthers. They had 2 late touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Baker coming in there for
garbage touchdowns.
yeah.
What?
Old PJ Masks Walker.
Typical Baker with the fucking garbage touchdowns late.
Yeah. I mean, he had Walker got pulled after the first half for Baker.
They didn't have a first down until
It was bad.
They look bad, and Carolina
had
actually,
2
some
picks
of their
in the first
losses
half.
haven't been horrible, but they just.
Can you believe this is the same
Carolina team that almost beat us?
or that beat Tampa Bay
Right.
a couple weeks back?
it's week to week, like we were saying earlier. It doesn't matter who you beat or,
Right.
we beat them by this, so that means we should beat them by... That literally is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
So Baker Mayfield in the garbage time here, 14 for 20 for 155, 2 touchdowns, had a 126 rating. Look at that rating, boys.
Damn.
Probably the best 20 throws he's ever made in his life.
Right? So,
Well, and he's playing the Bengals, and for whatever reason, he likes to play the Bengals.
yeah, he does. That's true. Good point. Good point. I didn't think about that. Monday Night Football, Ravens 27, Saints 13. Lamar Jackson, ya boy, 12 of 22, 133 yards, 1 touchdown. He also had 89 yards rushing. And Kenyon Drake, 24 rushes for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns, helping out the cause. Of course, we would really like to see the Ravens and the Bengals both lose on the week we had a bye.
Why would that happen?
And
Right.
now they're both on a bye this week.
Right. So this is our chance to get back on the up and up here. The Saints, Dalton, 19 of 29 for 210 yards, a touchdown, a pick. Was sacked 4 times.
He actually didn't look that bad. The
Dalton.
Ravens defense was all over him.
Well, Dalton had tons of bad throws.
Well, because he was getting pressured the whole game.
Well, he had
can't
4 sacks. I mean, is Roquan Smith, did that really make a big difference with them?
If you watch the game,
Yeah.
then, yeah.
Yeah.
I just
He made them look like...
I don't want to put too much on them beating the Saints.
No.
Yeah, but beating the Saints in New Orleans, I mean, yeah, I agree.
It's a tough place to play.
But yeah, I mean, Andy Dalton, he's not Tom Brady.
No.
I mean, I was
Andy
watching
Dalton.
that. I watched the game, and he missed a wide open Marquez Callaway in the second quarter there. Just terrible. It really would have really helped, put the pressure on Baltimore coming out in the second half. Lave 6 for 71, and this is the biggest thing too.
Well, they shut down Kamara because they didn't have
Kamara only 9 for 30 on the ground and 3 for 32.
to... If you shut
receiving.
him down, the Saints are super easy to beat.
You're asking the Red Rocket to win the game for you, so.
Right.
Another big shocker of the weekend here. Jets 20, Bills
The
17.
goddamn Jets.
Goddamn Jets. So Josh Allen sustained an arm injury, still day to day, even as we're recording this pod. If he doesn't play this week, and they play the Vikings this week, so this is kind of a big game. I mean,
Yeah, and they need a win because I don't even.
the Jets are only half game back now.
Case Keenum's
Yeah.
still their backup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily for Buffalo, they're at home the next 2. Even though they're playing the Vikings and the Browns, 2 good teams,
Right.
at least they're at home.
Right.
That'd be their own, and that's if Josh Allen doesn't play, which I think
I
he'll play.
still worry. So Josh Allen's 18 for 34 for 205 yards.
Did not look good.
2 picks.
I watched the end of that game.
And he had 2 rushing
I watched
touchdowns. but
almost that whole game.
He was sacked 5 times by that Jets defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I still have a problem here. I know you're saying the 2 home games. What happens when you get that lake effect snow coming over there to Buffalo and you have no running game besides Josh Allen? I still think it's a problem for Buffalo
Yeah.
because they're going to have probably a home playoff first round, or they're going to have a bye probably, and then a first round.
I think
Yeah.
if Buffalo has home field, I don't think anyone's going to beat them there. I don't. Josh Allen with half of an
They
arm
might
is
beat
still
them.
better than most.
I guess what I'm saying is they might beat themselves because they don't have a runner. I mean, remember a few years ago when they had Shady McCoy and he had that hell of a game in that ass deep snow up there in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like I said, we mentioned the big game coming from Minnesota. The Jets, Zach Milfson, 18 for 25, 154 yards, basically Baker Mayfield, and a touchdown.
Except he didn't have any turnovers.
Right.
So that's not Baker Mayfield.
Right, and he was about 70% passing, so that was good.
Baker Mayfield would have never won a game like that against the Bills because he would have had 3 turnovers.
Right,
One right at the end of the game.
If you don't turn the ball over in the NFL, you can win any game.
right.
You can beat anybody.
Here's a good one though. Jets 34 rushes for 174
like
yards on the
seeing
ground
that, too.
against that Buffalo defense.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit.
Yeah, losing
exposure
Brees Hall
there.
is tough, but Michael Carter's good.
He
had
is
a really
good.
good
He
year
is
last
good.
year too.
But I think it was kind of the fact that you went and got Naeem Hines, at the trade deadline. where you would rather have Kareem Hunt. And I don't know whatever happened there if the Browns decided, hey, we're not getting rid of Kareem Hunt.
It was because they beat Cincinnati.
Yeah, and
said,
why
well,
would
we
you
still
trade him
have
in the
a chance.
AFC when you're
Right. Well, true. That's true. But hell, look at Detroit. They did it.
Well, they're out.
Gave Hawkinson to Minnesota.
I don't know
It's
what
the
they're
fucking
doing.
Lions.
I know. Dan Campbell must be the GM there, too.
Come on, man.
Oh man, we got to play Aaron Rodgers this week. He's on that high.
So, like I said, the Jets are only a half game out of first place.
The whole
And,
division's over 500.
yeah, and of course, that really did end my under 5.5 wins for the season. So, fuck you, Jets.
I told you.
Fuck the Browns, too, for giving that win to the
Do you
Jets.
remember me saying way before the year started? I said the Jets are going to be that team that makes the second year leap like the Bengals did. But then the Jets schedule came out, and I'm like, oh well, shit, they're going to start like. I think I said the Jets are going to be like 2-6 or something.
I think
like
we were
that.
saying like 0-8, maybe.
Potentially.
Right.
But yeah, they've shocked me.
I agree.
I knew they were going to be better this year. I didn't think they were going to be.
I just saw those first 8 games, and I'm like, there's no way they're going to be able to do anything. And then, of course, we fucking handed them
And
away.
then old Hot Sauce Gardner, whatever the hell his name is.
Studs.
Fucking Bengal or goddamn Jets game is going to haunt the fuck out of us.
Yeah. All right, we didn't get that out of our system. Lions 15, Packers 9.
Not much to talk about here.
Your boy,
Aaron Rodgers is cooked.
23 of 43, 291, a touchdown, and 3 picks, though. That did him in there.
2 red zone picks. Love to see it. Fuck
Yeah.
him. Got outplayed by Jared Goff.
25, 106 yards rushing by Green Bay in this game. Aaron Jones not really a factor in this game at all.
No, it's so weird that they have 2 really good running backs and they don't use them.
Yeah. No, I mean, Aaron Rodgers had a lot of rushing yards in this game. Actually, I think he had 40 in this game.
Wow.
So, Lazard only 4 receptions on 10 targets. They have high wind there, too.
In the dome?
Yeah.
They must have turned the fans on.
Dan Campbell just
Unlike the fans in this room.
blowing hot air. I think I see a bead of sweat coming off Michael's
The
head.
Lions had a lot of grit in that game.
Yeah, they did.
As Dan Campbell would say.
Fighting off kneecaps.
Jared Goff, 14 of 26, 137 and 2 tutties.
No turnovers.
31 rushes for 117 yards for Detroit, though. So, and Green Bay, here's a real shocker. Green Bay owned the time of possession by 10 minutes in this game. But just like you said, the two red zone picks.
And they were horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one, they tried to throw it to like a guard. Slipping out in the flat.
Bakhtiari.
Yeah.
I think.
What a fucking dumb play. I guess you don't have any wide receivers because you drive everybody out of town because nobody likes you. Your family doesn't like you. Danica Patrick doesn't like you. Seriously though, and Aaron Rodgers, another reason I really just don't like him, he's always blaming somebody else. He never takes accountability for his shitty play. He threw 3 picks against the Lions. Take
Right.
some fucking accountability.
Right.
Right, this isn't Matt Stafford Lions either. This
Right.
is fucking
Jared
Jared Goff.
Right.
They're trying to tank and you lost. You're literally fighting for a playoff spot. Like that was a must-win for the Packers, and now they go to Dallas.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah, they're fucked.
Yeah, I'd love to see Mike McCarthy just have and I don't like him either.
No, I don't either.
But I'd love to see him just come up with a game plan to make Rodgers have another 3-pick game.
I don't think he needs one. He's got Micah Parsons.
He got Diggs.
Oh, yeah.
Diggs licking his chops after watching.
Rodgers is gonna take a break this week. It's like, yeah, I'm not facing Mike
He's
McCarthy.
gonna have COVID though.
Yeah.
Okay, so Browns back at it this week. Browns Dolphins coming up. Dolphins 3.5 point favorites. Over under 48.5.
Can't believe they're only a 3.5.
Yeah, because I don't think the Dolphins are that good. I mean, I just don't. I mean, you're getting 3 points there. It's either that or the Browns are a lot better than the record, which I think that's the
Well,
case.
that's
too.
also the case.
So Vegas is basically telling you these teams on neutral field are pretty equal.
And what they don't do well, we do very well.
Mm-hmm.
They don't stop the run, and their secondary hasn't played very well. So I think offensively we can do what we want.
Yeah, what's going on with Xavier Howard there?
I think he's still playing okay, but everyone else is kind of.
Yeah.
My thing is, if we stop like the explosive plays against them, we shouldn't have a problem.
Right.
If our secondary looks busted like they were at some points earlier in the year, then it's going to be a long.
Well,
day.
we just heard back that Denzel Ward's definitely back on Sunday, so that's good.
Which is nice, but is it
Maybe
going to be
on the
is it going to be the Pro Bowl Denzel Ward that
Right.
shows up, or
the pre-contract
one that-
Denzel Ward?
Yeah, because I mean, this is the kind of game where you got to be on it.
Right.
You're going to have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle running right past you.
And this is a big game because it'll have tiebreaker scenario.
Yeah.
Right.
You need to beat
The
some
AFC
of these fucking
teams.
teams.
Yeah.
So like I say that I don't think the Dolphins are that good. The bogus stat of the year right now, I think, is Tua in the MVP conversation #1 and being undefeated as
I
a
haven't
starter.
heard anything about Tua.
Oh yeah, they're already they were squawking about it all week this week.
Who?
Different sources.
On Colin Cowherd.
No. He's not a Tua guy either. So I'm all about him.
He loves Tua when
No.
he's winning.
Oh geez, here we go. No, he's not a Tua guy.
I could get on fucking Twitter right now and find him.
Can you imagine if they would have drafted Justin Herbert
The Dolphins.
and had fucking Jalen Waddle and fucking Tyreek Hill?
Oh my god.
There would be no contest. They would be.
Well, don't you remember
I
the
just
whole
wish-
tank for Tua campaign? Remember Herbert wasn't even a thought.
I wish
Right.
Justin Herbert would have went somewhere else because I feel like that organization's holding him back.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone really thought Justin Herbert was going to be this good. Like,
No.
when I watched him at Oregon, it was like when I watched Sam Darnold. Like, I had heard so much about Sam Darnold, I'm like, okay, this guy's pretty good. And then I saw him play in a bowl game against Ohio State, and he had like
Looked
4
like shit.
turnovers.
Yeah, he wasn't good.
But Justin Herbert didn't look very good in college either. But he had like a really good Rose Bowl against Wisconsin, I think. So it really like got people excited.
Right. How are we going to contain Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle?
Put 13 guys on the field.
Honestly, dude, they get so much bullshit like PI calls. I would press him, make him throw it deep, and fucking turn your head around and pick it off because he's not hitting in stride.
Right. Because it's Tua.
Because it's Tua.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
once you hit 30 yards, like if you're running with him and you're 30 yards up from the line of scrimmage, turn around, look for the ball, and fucking get it. If they can get a turnover early, it would be fucking huge.
Right.
Get a couple score
Yeah.
lead, and then you play some prevent.
Like we did against the Bengals last year. I always go back to that, like the early pick.
Yeah.
Denzel, you play from ahead.
Miles is gonna have to have a career day.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be sacks and get pressure, make him throw the ball because they're getting a lot of like over the middle of the field.
Right.
Is where a lot of their yards come from.
It's not underneath
And
trash.
hopefully
Right.
JOK fucking plays. And I
I don't think he was on the injury report.
okay.
We're going to put, I actually have an injury report. We'll put it up for you guys. But yeah, I think Conklin's still questionable. But the good thing about having the bye week, of course, is, you give your
Teller's
guys,
back.
yes, you get some guys back. Of course,
Hopefully Njoku can play, but
he wasn't on the injury report either. So
Really?
I think Njoku's a go.
damn.
At least that I
They
saw.
said 2 to 5 weeks.
Have a little
He wasn't
homecoming
on there.
down in Miami.
So what? I could be wrong about that. Maybe this is just a questionable report, the one that I saw. But
I think, and I definitely think Cooper has a big day down there. He likes it nice and hot.
yeah,
I think.
kind of like this room.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like Deshaun Watson in the massage room.
So like
Small.
I said,
Hopefully he's
Alright.
not going down there to Miami.
yeah, the Browns definitely need this. They need to win the next 2 of the 3, is what we're saying, before Watson's return.
Yeah, because if they only go 1 and 2 in the next 3, they're
Or 0 and
0
3.
chance.
Yeah,
Because what would they be?
4 and 7.
Yeah, because
They would have to
they're
win
not
out
going to
with
win
that.
out. I don't
probably
think.
not.
In this year in the NFL, I feel like anybody going on like a 6-game, the Eagles, but
So Watson though does get to face 3 division opponents when he does come back.
That'll be huge.
Right, and they both Cincinnati and Baltimore have a bye.
Cincinnati's 0-3 in the division.
So we need to keep pace.
Their only chance really at this point is to win the wild card,
Yeah, because
unless like the
Baltimore's
Ravens have like an
schedule
epic
is-
collapse,
Baltimore's schedule's easy as fuck,
and Cincinnati's is hard as fuck.
and so is ours.
Yeah.
But I mean, you get through this 3-game stretch. Honestly, dude, they take it week by week, but you win this week. I don't see why we can't beat Buffalo. They're not impenetrable.
Yeah.
Josh Allen didn't look good against the Jets. I think we have a better front when healthy. Our fucking interior defensive line's been playing a lot better the last couple of weeks. Just fucking win these next 3. Be 6-5 when fucking Watson comes back.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean the Bucks are definitely beatable too.
Right.
Absolutely.
Which, you know, at the beginning of the year, nobody would have thought that.
All right, so moving on here. Anything else to cover with the Browns' upcoming game?
Just win.
Just win, baby.
Just win and enjoy watching Nick Chubb play in his prime.
Yeah. Yeah. Moving on to our Crying Jordan segments of the week. So I'm going to start off this week. I know I got a little backlash on this, but the fact that plexiglass Kirk Cousins decides to let it all loose on the flight home, and he's wearing the chains here. I mean, what's going on?
Where was that flight
It looks like
from?
Malibu's Most Wanted.
Were they playing overseas or something? No, they played overseas earlier.
Yeah. I don't
No,
know.
they were in Washington.
No, that's right. That's right. So, yeah, I got to give it to Kirk Cousins, man. And what's the guy doing?
He definitely looked very white.
The real question was, what was Adam? Yeah, but what was Adam Schefter doing? Did you see him?
What the fuck? Yeah, what the
He
hell
like
was that?
imitated Kirk Cousins doing it.
Yeah, and he's like fat.
Except Kirk Cousins like is still like an NFL quarterback, like in shape, like
Right. Does Adam Schefter get away with that if Kirk Cousins is a black guy?
No.
Absolutely
Exactly.
not.
Thank you.
Absolutely
Thank
not.
you. I mean,
He'd be
remember,
canceled.
that was the elephant in the room.
He'd be canceled for
Besides
sure.
Kirk Cousins' L chain.
Should have been a W chain. 'Cause they're 7-1.
I know they are. I know.
But he's not that good though.
Give it time.
Who is good?
Playing the Bills.
Who is good in your head? I feel like the only 2 quarterbacks you think are good are Deshaun Watson and Jacoby Brissett. Because you're such a homer.
No, Josh
Who
Allen.
else is good?
Josh Allen's good. I think Justin Herbert's good. Deshaun Watson, I think, as long as he plays like he did before, he's a good quarterback.
You hated him when he was with Clemson and with the
I did.
Texans.
I mean, I hated him in Clemson.
Yeah, I did too.
That's easy
You
to-
hated him when
it's
he was
easy
in
to
the
hate.
Texans.
It's easy to hate. I wouldn't say that. I mean, Texans weren't really
I wanted the Browns to draft him.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, I hated him, but I wanted him to draft
Yeah,
him.
because I knew
They could have got him.
we knew how good he was.
I did. Quite honestly, I didn't think Deshaun Watson was going to translate to the NFL. That was my.
Yeah,
that's what I
was-
thought. I really didn't. I thought he was too thin. I didn't see it. I didn't see it, but I was wrong. It happens every now and again.
That happens way more often than not.
So, Mark, who's your Crying Jordan nominee of the week?
Speaking of Clemson, we'll just go with Dabo Swinney.
Man.
Got your shit pushed in.
Yeah, you did. Wow.
We're never in the game, and now your season's over.
It is over.
Have fun winning the ACC. You get nothing for that.
Right.
The worst conference. So.
Ryan, how about you?
I'm gonna throw mine on Nick Saban.
Nick Saban. Man.
Fuck him. Fuck Bama.
Absolutely. Roll Cried.
Roll Cried.
Man, there's so many great Crying Jordans in Nick Saban.
Oh, I can't wait.
We might have to put a collage up.
Might put some background music in there.
Right? Yeah, he might deserve the Bengals polka on the background on that one.
You secretly love that fucking song.
Reminds me of Chili on the
You
back
listen
end.
to it on your way. You probably listen to it on your way to
Gets me pumped.
Skyline.
Gets me pumped. All right, so Major League Baseball wrapping up this last week. Astros win the World Series. What do you think?
Fuck Houston.
Yep,
Yeah, but
it is what it is.
yeah,
I mean, you kind of hate to see, the Phillies pull it out, and then what if the Eagles really go deep? Then you have to listen to those Philly fans. Good God.
yeah,
I mean, at least Astros, we know the Texans suck.
yeah,
So, I mean, it's not going to be any...
and the Rockets.
Right.
Yeah, right. Right?
Although they're probably better than the Lakers at this point.
Yeah, who isn't? So...
It's so fun. I know we're not at the NBA yet, but it's so nice seeing LeBron and Kyrie playing for 2 fucking awful teams.
But here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Even though the Cavs almost got my fucking crying Jordan for the
Tough.
Sacramento game.
Yeah.
But they pulled it out.
Yeah, they lost to the Kings.
Why didn't they get the crying Jordan then? I like to see the crying Jordan on Donovan Mitchell.
The Kings aren't as bad as they have been.
No,
they got some really good.
I think the Kings are going to be
Yeah,
scrappy.
they got some good young players.
But, after losing that kind of game
I
to
woke
the
up.
Clippers,
Yeah, that was a tough one. I
that was a
watched the
tough one.
last 2 minutes of that game. That was horrible.
So, Indians, though, 4 Gold Glove winners this year.
it's the first team since the 2001 Seattle Mariners.
It's crazy.
Who
That
won like
full-
116 games
Yeah,
or something.
won 116 games. That we almost beat in the playoffs that year.
Steve Kwan, rookie of the year finalist.
That should be a
And
no-brainer.
Tito.
Right.
But he won't win it, though, because he didn't hit
30 home
30
runs.
home runs.
Yeah.
The guy from Seattle. will win
Seattle, probably, right.
it. Rodriguez will
And
win
Tito
it.
Francona, manager of the year finalist.
And I don't think he'll win it. I think they'll give it to the guy from Baltimore because he's like a new guy. Even though they didn't make the fucking playoffs. The guy, Tito, should win it, but I don't think they'll give it to him.
And the executive of the year, though, right?
Yeah,
Chris
we got
Antonetti, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
feel like
So,
Which we've always talked about how they have like
their
such a
farm
good
system.
front office and yeah.
It's always like since fucking 94
Yeah.
it's been that way.
But we've had a
91.
couple bad years, but really other than that, it's like we're
Always contending.
yeah.
so gonna move on to the NBA. Well, first off, are we feeling about the Indians next year?
It's so hard to.
It is
Yeah.
Major League Baseball.
I mean, who would have thought the Orioles would be in a
Right.
hunt for the playoffs that late in the year?
I would like for the Indians, their young guys, to show a little more pop.
I'd like to get a big hitter.
Well,
Somehow,
yeah,
I'd like to get a big hitter in the offseason.
I'd like to see Oscar Gonzalez be like a 30 homer
He's gonna
guy.
be that big hitter.
He
next
could
year.
be. He
Yeah.
could be. I agree.
But then you got to worry sometimes. Your second years, pitchers kind of figure you out.
Well,
Yeah, and
So-
because some of these guys, even this year, towards the end of the year, couldn't hit the fucking ball.
Yeah.
Like Jimenez.
But
he was-
I would like maybe 1 week, a little further here, get some free agency and see what they can do. Just bring in a veteran guy that can hit 270 and have a little pop.
Yeah, because that's
Right.
what sucked this year. Is even like in that series against the Yankees, we never once had a guy on our bench that we could bring in for a
Right.
big at bat
Right.
that always has a shot to hit a home run,
Right.
like an Albert Pujols or someone like that.
Yeah. Jason Giambi back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah, he might have struck out, but there was always a chance he was going to hit a home run.
By the way, not to get off subject here, but man, I watched that movie Moneyball again the other night. I watched it on Netflix. God, I love that movie. I don't know why. It's not because of Brad Pitt. Although I do go from like 6 to midnight, whatever it is. Especially in Thelma and Louise.
Did you guys watch the Nolan Ryan documentary?
I have not
No.
watched that yet. I've
It's
been meaning to
really
watch
good.
it. Is it good?
I guess there was. I know you guys probably aren't big soccer fans, but the World Cup's coming up, so we
Right.
should probably cover some of that at some
Probably
point.
should.
But
Yeah,
I guess
moving
like
on.
a really good documentary came out on Netflix about like the
Yeah.
corruption within FIFA.
Great.
And I guess it's like, really, it's like Washington Commanders type shit.
Speaking of which, story broke today. I don't have it in the rundown, but apparently there's more news coming out with the Washington Redskins.
Well, in the NFL and it's
Yeah.
getting indicted too, right? Or-
Yes. So everything's kind of coming full circle here. I mean, Snyder's, started off, we covered it on the pod, basically saying he's going to blow the whistle on all the NFL owners. Roger Goodell.
If he comes out and with Deshaun Watson was framed, shit.
It's a whole pyramid.
That'd be so fucking intense.
And then last week, we reported about basically the NFL getting to somebody in Washington, and they're going to try to get Dan Snyder for tax evasion for not reporting all of his profits from
like a
ticket
crime
sales.
boss.
Right. And now this week just came out today that apparently the district attorney of Washington, D.C. is going after Dan Snyder, the Redskins, the NFL, the commission, Roger Goodell, the whole lot. So I don't know what's going on. What do you think? I mean, Washington, D.C. and the Congress could own the Redskins here.
I just want something really like interesting to come out of this.
Right.
I know. It would
Like
be.
something real
Right.
like.
Are they gonna like?
I don't want
C-SPAN?
like.
Is it gonna be on C-SPAN?
Oh, that'd be
I'll
awesome.
fucking watch that. I'd
But
love to
like,
watch
what's it called? Subpoena, like Carson Wentz.
Yes.
Just imagine sitting. Man, with like Taylor Heineke sitting up there, like you get Chase Young, like, oh, it'd be so funny.
Anyway, so we'll keep a pulse on that, see what's going to happen there. Don't really know, but NBA Cavaliers are now what, 8-3? 9-3. Sorry.
Still way better,
right.
even after losing the last two. Still way better than I thought they'd start the year.
They're fine.
Yeah.
Undefeated at home. Undefeated at home. These Cavs.
Yeah, they could do that all year.
I mean, handily took care of the Lakers. Not a big deal there.
Yeah.
It was
People
so funny
say
watching
that
Russell.
though, but when I watched that, it didn't look good.
What?
That Lakers game.
Oh, I felt like they were never like the first half. I watched.
But there was like all
Bits and
free
pieces.
throws. They were not getting good shots.
The second half was totally different.
Yeah, I mean, well, fourth quarter was different. I
Yeah.
didn't think the third quarter was that much different.
Oh, it's so funny watching Russell Westbrook come up and just shoot like horrible shots, and like you could just tell like. But hey, that's what LeBron wanted. He wanted this.
He did.
He wanted to go out there and play GM and.
Le GM.
So Cavaliers probably going to drop, but before last night's game, they were ranked number 2 on ESPN's latest power rankings in the whole league, just behind Milwaukee.
Yeah, but power rankings, it's like when they do that shit in the NFL, that doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't. You got to play the games. I agree.
I still think they can, honestly, regular season, I think they can come out as a 1 seed. Even with the 2 losses. Like, they're going to be a top 3 seed in the East. They're ready for it, and I can't wait when fucking Rubio gets back.
Yeah, it'll be between like the Bucks, Cavs, Celtics will be fighting for those.
Those 2 Celtics
Yeah, I don't
ones.
see anybody else really.
Yeah.
Big wins. Okay,
If
so
the Nets could get out of their own way, they might make a run.
I don't see him making that much of a run.
I don't
to
see.
get back up
Yeah, when you have a guy like Kyrie out there, which
Jesus.
you got Simmons.
dude,
How bad? Because he got paid too, didn't he?
yeah, I would love to trade Kyrie for Brittany Griner straight up.
Nice.
Keep him in
put him
the
in
Russian
the
labor
WNBA?
camp. Yeah, no, no.
Oh, put him in the penal colony?
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be right at home.
Well, he doesn't think the penal colony exists. That would have
Yeah.
fell off the flat earth already. He doesn't think it's a real place.
I hate guys like him because, like, it kind of pisses me off that he was the guy who hit like the biggest shot.
Yeah.
Or made maybe the biggest play in Cleveland sports in our lifetime, especially me and you. It pisses me off that he did it because I fucking hate him because I hate guys like that just think they're way smarter than everybody. Like you're not that smart. You went to Duke on a basketball scholarship. You probably went to one class.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
You're like
you're not smart.
one guy removed from a lacrosse scandal.
He probably didn't even have a major while he was there.
No, probably not. his major, yeah.
Well, we know it wasn't geology.
Well, it was definitely an
Not
anti-Semitic.
geology, not geography.
Right. Right. Okay, we're going to move on to the second part here. This is our Kenny Lofton stand for the Hall of Fame segment. And what we're trying to do here, we kind of explained it last week, is we're going to try to get Kenny Lofton back on the Hall of Fame ballot. In 2007, his first year of eligibility, he only received 3.2% of the Hall of Fame votes, so he never got back on the ballot. Like I said, we're going to go at Kenny Lofton, and we're just going to keep picking and prodding at a lot of these Hall of Fame voters, especially those 16 that you brought up last week.
Commission.
The commission, to try to get Lofton back on there in the hopes, maybe, that we could possibly get Kenny Lofton on our podcast, which would be fantastic.
Childhood dream right there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So this week we have Kenny Lofton going up against Ryan Sandberg. So Ryan Sandberg's WAR, win over replacement 68, Lofton 68. Ryan Sandberg in the Hall of Fame, by the way, if you didn't know. Sandberg's batting average 285, Lofton 300 for his career. Sandberg 10-time All-Star, Lofton 6-time, 9-time Gold Glove winner for Sandberg.
How did Kenny Lofton only win 4 Gold Gloves?
I know, and it's kind of crazy. I mean, you got Sandberg though. I mean,
It was even in, I guess, Ken Griffey was in the American League at that point, but he still won 4 Gold Gloves.
Brady Anderson, the guy for the Orioles,
Orioles.
he won some Gold Gloves, I think, back then.
He might have, yeah.
But he won all his in like the mid '90s when Ken Griffey was like.
Bernie Williams.
Bernie Williams.
And of course he probably won him playing in New York.
Right.
So there's a little bit of discrepancy there as far as All-Star and Gold Glove count. But I know what the Hall of Famers and all you people are going to say, well, wait a minute. Sandberg was a home run champion in the National League in 1990. Well, guess what? Kenny Lofton, 5-time stolen base leader in the AL. 5 times.
Yeah, but back then, I'm not advocating for Sandberg, but they loved the fucking home run hitters.
No, they do. They still do.
Yeah, and back then it was definitely about home runs.
Right.
So that's why they probably.
I mean, but the Cubs were
That's
awful.
a part of the game.
Yeah.
Cubs were awful.
All
On that
around.
point, the Cubs were fucking horrible.
Yeah, they were
Kenny
the
Lofton
best
was
side
leading
of the
off
league
for-
back then.
Like from '94 to 2001, the Indians had more wins than anybody in the majors.
Yeah, and he was the
leadoff guy for
Yeah.
all but 1 year.
I mean, they only had back then, you had Ryan Sandberg and Chet the Rocket Stedman, I think. Those were the 2 players people gave to
and
see.
Sammy Sosa.
And Rowan Gardner. Rowan Gruber. So, Cubs awful during that stretch of Sandberg's career. And, of course, Lofton played in multiple playoff games. Sandberg, 73% got in on the 3rd ballot. Got our 3rd year of his eligibility. And stolen base. This is a nice little nugget I wanted to bring up. Kenny Lofton, I rounded this up a little bit, but basically had an 80%
Success
rate stealing bases.
That's really good
Yeah,
because
that's not too bad.
That's pretty good. That's really, really good.
That's really
Yeah.
good because even some of the best base stealers, if you look, because it used to, maybe not in the 90s as much, but like in the 80s and 70s, people, when you got on, you stole second.
Right.
Yeah.
So they had a lot, but he was always great at picking his spots. And I would love to find out to see how many times he stole third, because that never happens today.
Right.
No.
And he did that at a very high clip,
Right.
a very successful clip.
Right.
Yeah, you never see anybody doing that now.
Right.
Nope. So anyway, still pushing the Lofton crusade here.
3.2% of the vote. Like, those guys,
That's unreal.
That's a shame.
because he was kind of a dick to reporters.
Right.
Like,
That's
who
why
gives a
what?
fuck?
That's why T.O. didn't get in for the longest time.
Oh yeah.
Because he was an asshole. to reporters.
Oh, absolutely.
But he was also probably the best receiver in the league.
He's
for
a
10
top
years.
5 receiver probably all
All
time.
time.
Yeah.
You think?
And hell, he's like 50 and he's out there cooking like,
He can probably still play in the league.
he probably could.
Brown should call him probably. So, hey, and we're just going to kind of go off the cuff here, but we want to finish up tonight's podcast with a little over-under. These are spreads that you should be able to bet on with Las Vegas, but you're never going to see them in any type of sports book. Number 1, just found out Brittany Griner's going to get sentenced to a penal colony in Russia as part of her sentence. Over-under, Brittany Griner makes more money in the penal colony than she did in the WNBA.
Definitely that.
What do you think?
She's gonna
It's
come.
definitely the colony.
I mean, they paying her in borscht? What are they doing over there?
I don't know what they're paying.
Well,
her, but
at least someone's gonna make a profit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like the WNBA.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
No, but like I said earlier, we'll take her back, and they can have Kyrie forever.
I feel like Nets fans would agree with you.
Yeah,
He's been there 4 years.
and he hasn't done anything
How many games has he played? Like 50?
4.
Right.
because he couldn't get the COVID shot because it was racist.
I mean, I get
What
not
else?
getting the shot, but
What else did he
everything
play
else
for?
is fucking stupid.
What else
Just being hurt.
did he sit out for? I felt like he set out for something else too. With Ben Simmons. I don't know. He hasn't played very.
I mean, if, I know we say we're not going to report on the WNBA, but have you guys seen the futures for a championship next year?
no.
Nobody else has either. Because nobody gives a fuck.
Because they don't even know if half those teams are still going to be there next
Right.
year.
They've been
Right.
playing in front of 300 to 400
Right.
people for a quarter decade.
Right.
They just
Or a quarter
They just
century.
probably kept the cardboard cutouts for
Right.
those seats for the WNBA.
It's just all crowd noise from the PA.
And it's
Yeah.
so funny too when you watch those games. Some of those cities that do have full arenas, think it's like Seattle and
Yeah,
some
because they
other
don't have
places
that
that
some
don't have
other
an NBA
liberal
team.
city.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna support the women's team.
Okay.
And they wear like 3 masks to the game.
They're on their phone the whole time.
Yeah,
So,
they're on their iPods.
Like the Minneapolis maxi pads are playing. You know.
Minneapolis maxi pads.
I mean, I can even get over the teams.
The WNBA is like just a big tax exemption.
I would actually like to look this up
Yeah,
too.
because they've never made a profit.
Right.
Not even
NBA
close.
always loses a lot of money. I bet you guys couldn't name like the mascot for.
I couldn't.
that. Do
I
we have
couldn't name
WNBA
three.
team
I
here
couldn't
in
name
Ohio?
3
No,
cities
I
that
didn't think
have.
it did. Not that I care.
I know LA, Minnesota, and
You know Minnesota now. I just told you what it was.
Okay.
I don't even know another city.
Minnesota.
I have no
Links.
clue.
Yeah.
What is it, Lynx?
I just know that because I play 2K.
Los
You
Angeles.
just beat up on WNBA teams.
Well,
all the time?
every time the game starts up, it fucking shows the things, but I don't remember any other ones.
Los Angeles. This one's easy. This is like the only one I would have known.
Sparks.
Yeah. Ryan's on a roll. He knows all the things.
Man. I was gonna say the LeBrons.
No, not yet.
LaShonda's.
Las Vegas.
Oh man.
It has something to do with Vegas.
I think I know this one. Aces.
Ryan knows
God
them
damn,
all.
Man. Wow, I gotta play some
Yeah, let him
2K.
whiff and then you come in and say
Yeah.
Indiana.
I have no
Oh
fucking
man.
clue.
The corn stalks.
The Fever.
The Fever. Wow.
Dallas.
Oh man. No idea.
McConaughey's.
The Wing. The Wings.
The
Dallas
Wings.
Wings. All right.
Connecticut.
Oh my God,
Cunts.
Connecticut has a team and we don't here in Ohio?
Yeah. I bet
Wow.
the college team could probably beat the professional team.
Right.
Well, you know I want to say Connecticut, but I'm probably not going to say
Yeah.
that.
The Sun. That's not even sunny in
Connecticut,
Connecticut.
yeah, no, yeah, what are we doing here?
Chicago.
Oh,
Baby back ribs.
the Not Bulls.
The Sky.
Chicago Sky, oh my goodness.
And the Atlanta.
Atlanta. Is that all there is? It's like 8
It was
teams?
like, yeah.
Jesus. They'll never have an expansion team.
They need to have a reduction.
All right. Just have 2 teams play.
Right, every year.
Oh no, there's 12, sorry, but
12.
First one to
the
20
Dream.
wins. The Dream.
That's
Of
Atlanta Dream?
Yep.
Wow.
And then the New York Liberty, the Phoenix Mercury,
I have heard of the Mercury.
and Seattle Storm, and Washington Mystics.
Okay, I've heard of the
And
storm.
who gives a fuck
Yeah.
Right.
about any of them?
Absolutely.
Nobody.
Ryan, you want to take us out?
Sure. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. This is episode number 10. Didn't think we'd ever get this far. Equipment
Failure.
likes to let us down constantly, but we're doing our best. But yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment, check out our different pages on various social media sites, and we appreciate all the raw doggers.
Make sure to go ahead and grab that link for
And we
my
have shirts for
bookie.
sale.
Oh yeah. Don't
$20.
forget about that. $20, guys. Come on, help out the doggers. We're trying to get to Indianapolis here on December 3rd. Help us
Right.
out.
Gotta have some road beers. But all right, raw dogger out. Anything else
Nope.
for Mark?
Good.
All right.
All right, raw dogger